Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Weekly Whatever, our weekly show where we talk about whatever we want. I'm Chris.
And I'm Brad.
We are bringing you a recap of season 31 of Survivor, episode 7. We are merged.
We did it. The
I
biggest
know,
merge in Survivor
13
history.
people made it.
It's a lot of
Like,
people.
everyone's busy patting themselves on the back, but I mean, it's a 13-person merge, so don't get too
Yeah.
happy. All right, Monworth, come
Yeah. Yeah. But they are all dateable now, which is great news
on.
for all of them. All right. Before
Even
we
Keith.
even Keith apparently, yeah, he's got a son. He did all right. All right. Oh dear. Okay. Before we get into this episode, we're gonna talk about everything from the episode, including Cass's vote off from the
Yep.
game. Hit the like
Unlucky
button.
minds.
Yep. Subscribe to our channel. Send this video to every person you've ever met, ever. Uh, you
Just keep on posting it on Facebook
can
over and
just
over.
nonstop until you have no friends left.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's when you stop.
that's the that's the stopping point. That's how you know. You can follow us on Twitter or specifically me and tweet us mean or very nice things. Your choice. I don't have a preference. You can also check out my blog, which is also in the description, where I write about the episodes if you'd rather read about it rather than listen to the dulcet tones of Chris and my voices. Well, this is going great. Let's talk about Survivor. Let's talk about the merge. 13-person merge, as we said, the biggest merge in Survivor history. We have our first member of the jury as well. First, about the merge, Chris, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts. Basically, it's kind of a balancing act because it's great to see all these people on a single beach duking it out, and they're all fighting for a single immunity idol. I kind of thought they might do like a male and female immunity.
Yeah,
They have done that in the past, and
they
I
have.
thought with such a big group, it would make sense to. But guess not. Whatever. Uh, at the same time, there's a lot more room to hide because it's such a large group. But
Yes.
I mean, again, to counter even that, as I say it, the fact is they're not just targeting the big, huge guys. It's people are going for the jugular. They're going after the strategist, which is not surprising considering the tone of the season so far. So, all in all, I can't say I'm surprised by anything that's happened. I'm just surprised that they merged so early and definitely happy for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's actually a good point about, well, both of the points he made. I thought there was going to be a second immunity, individual immunity idol that Jeff was just going to pull up. It's like, and this one is for the men or the
Tasha.
women. Yeah, it's for Tasha. Yeah, this one just goes to Tasha. I actually thought they might do that. I'm kind of glad they didn't. I like it when there's fewer people safe. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, more. I really like your point that this season it's not about physicality at all, really. And we thought that coming into the merge, the guys like Joe, Jeremy, and Savage, they're going to be in trouble because they're very physical. They're going to win everything. Everyone's going to want them out. But what we see instead is that Cass and Sierra and Tasha are the three that are in the most danger, and they're more strategists. Tasha's still very physical as well, but mainly strategists. And it does fit very well with the season because we see someone like Abby who has just scraped by week after week, and they're not keeping strong people like Vetus to keep the tribe's strength strong in the early game. They got rid of Vetus because he was a strategist, and Abby will just go to the end and she can't win. So yeah, this game really is all about strategy this season. I'm loving it. I think this episode had a lot of pretty bad strategy in it. I
Yeah.
think they probably came to the correct conclusion and the right person went home, but there was a lot of bad play. And we'll talk about
Definitely.
it. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's been really fun, and that was a really exciting merge episode.
Yeah. So let's jump now from the beginning to the end, I guess, and talk about that vote breakdown because there were some things that I don't think either of us really expected
Yeah,
in the sort of core that four person alliance of former not anchors. what are they called?
Takeo,
The
Bayon. Yeah.
KOs. KOs. That flipped.
Yeah.
Wentworth voted for Cass, and
Yeah.
Sierra voted for Savage for some reason, because fuck Savage, I guess.
Yeah, just fuck Savage.
That's cool.
Hashtag fuck Savage. Um, yeah, okay, let's talk about Wentworth first. What do you think that decision was? Was it trying to earn favor with the majority, or
I think
I
it
don't
was
I don't even know.
not so much directly like overall with the majority, but more playing specifically to the people she's trying to work with, who are Joe and Spencer. I mean, that we've seen at least.
Right.
And I think she's was probably talking to them immediately beforehand, and she probably knew that Spencer wasn't going to join them, and she wanted to say, "Hey, I'm going to work with you in the
Right.
long term." Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it probably was about self-preservation. And trying to build some trust with those people. We have seen that Joe wants to keep her safe, or he wanted to when he was on Bayonne,
True.
stupidly
Yeah.
talking about it before they even went to tribal. Um, but yeah, that's probably what it's got to be. And like you said, once they knew that Spencer wasn't going to flip, which he shouldn't even entertain that idea, right? Of flipping.
Oh God, no, no.
Okay,
That would
yeah,
be
we're in agreement. That would have been ridiculous if he had tried to do that for Cass of all people. I know she just saved him, but I mean, come on.
But to have that 9, or to not be a part of that 9, would be
Yeah,
suicide.
he'd be pissing off like 7 people or 8 people to save Cass. Ridiculous. All right, let's talk about the Sierra vote. Is it just a hashtag fuck Savage that she voted for Savage,
I
or
mean, I can't really think of anything else, because, I mean, unless it's kind of her way of balancing the numbers without out and out voting for Cass, because taking away a vote for
she would have voted for
Tasha.
she would have voted for Tasha. Which it's
Yeah.
it's very weird. I don't know if she's going to try and deny that was her vote later on. Maybe try and rattle Savage a little bit because he's clearly not too keen on Sierra. Um, but
Slightly not keen on.
but I really don't know. That was a weird one to me.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking, hey, maybe that's Spencer's vote, and he's like, I'm not making a decision. I abstain. I vote for Savage because fuck Savage. Which if that catches on, that'd be great. Uh,
Yeah.
but I don't know. That was a weird one.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out next time on
Survive.
Survive.
Big moves, big moves, big moves. Okay. Uh, how about Sierra's pitch before the vote at Tribal Council, trying to get people into the game, wake people
Yeah.
up.
Let's play the game, guys. Let's all play Survivor. I mean, it was kind of, I don't see it really changing anyone's train of thought, like the way anyone was thinking during Tribal, but it's fine. Like, because what she's essentially saying is she wants people to play for the week or for the Tribal instead of like a long game.
Right.
Like, don't stick with your alliance long term. Just work with people who have the same current interests as you.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it's
well, go on.
well, it's to try and like look. You have to recognize that there's a lot of people in one voting block right now. Not all of you are gonna make it to the end, and you need to figure out. Okay, I'm 6 or 7, and I need to do something about it now. But it's really early.
Yeah.
Interestingly, and I kind of forgot about this until we started talking about it. Her pitch to everyone on the tribe was very similar to the pitch that was being thrown at her by Hayden at the final 6 in Blood versus Water, which is Sierra's first season. And he was trying to say, look, you're 4 in that alliance of Tyson, Jervis, Monica, Sierra. You're 4. They're 3. That's the final 3 were there, which it ended up being. You need to come with me and Katie right now and vote for Jervis. I think it was Jervis at the time. I don't really remember. And you need to do this. You need to do this, and we'll draw rocks. And it worked. And Sierra did switch and vote with them, and she drew rocks, and that was really awesome. Um, but it's almost the same pitch, but the problem is that was at Final 6, where it's literally you do it now or you don't do it ever. And even 6 was maybe it was kind of already a little bit too late, but at a tribe of 13 in the game we are now, that's so early. There's no
Yeah.
way anybody was gonna entertain that thought.
Yeah, I don't know. At one point, Fishback sort of chimed in, and he was talking about like a shift in the meta. He didn't say meta. I thought he was going to.
He was thinking it.
He almost did, yeah. And I wasn't super clear on what he was feeling was transitioning from like what to what. Did you get that?
I believe it was he mentioned an evolution of strategy from the game, and it was kind of what we talked about. The target was on, as I think he said, 3 small women rather than the
Oh,
big strong guys. I
okay.
believe was his point, and it was an evolution of the strategy of the game that maybe you get rid of somebody who's a little bit more dangerous socially or strategically rather than someone who has large muscles.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, I guess that is the meta. I mean, that's not really the meta. That's kind of the surface text. That's who are we going after right now.
yes.
But I see it. I see it.
It was I love that moment because it was like watching him talk about an episode of Survivor,
It
but
was.
he
It
was
was very much
in
that.
the
And
episode. It was so cool. That's what you'd see him doing on the live know-it-alls after the episode airs, and that was really funny to see him do that at the tribal council. Um, all right, let's go back a bit before the tribal and talk about what led us to the point where Cass and Sierra were the targets, because
yeah.
I don't really I don't know what the hell they were doing. Like there's so much bad play that led to that happening. Uh let, I'm going to start at the beginning of it. What what is your thought on Tasha feeding Cass bad information? Like should she be doing it? And or I mean, should she just tell her nothing, give her absolutely nothing, just close that door? Or is there an opportunity to feed her bad information and she just did it poorly? Or like where do you land on that?
Okay, so my thinking is that I think Tasha was fine. Like she kind of said, made some stuff up. Like it doesn't really matter because just having that conversation, once you piss her off, then she's pissed off, and then she's, ooh, I'm gonna be chaos cast now. You poked the bear, but it doesn't. I don't think like the definition of chaos cast, as she understands it, and what she actually was, are two different things. Like she thinks I'm chaos cast, I'm strategic, but really the chaos is her flipping and flipping and flipping.
Right.
And if she says, "Oh, I don't like you. You're on the other alliance and you're not working with me. So I'm mad at you. So I'm going to be Chaos Cass." What does that mean? Is she going to flip on her own alliance? Like she's talking to someone, she's mad at someone who was never in her alliance to begin with. So anything she does that is chaotic is really only screwing up herself and her people's game.
Right.
The chaos is only valuable if she's actually flipping, which she wasn't.
Right.
So she just dug a hole for herself, and
And yeah, and she
and
did.
then
Big
people
time.
filled it on top of it.
Yes. Yes, they did. They tried to throw Sierra in and she's like half in, but they mostly
She
just
is.
buried Cass.
Her head is still sticking up
That's
above.
true. Yeah. That's a
Ceiling.
good point. That's a really good point because yeah, the chaos that she tried to sow was having a big public argument with Tasha over the fake information that Tasha was telling her and just
Yeah,
kind of
and what
calling
does
her
that
out.
give the other alliance? Like, oh, good job, Tasha. You didn't work with her.
Yeah, like just
Thanks.
well, she was like, Tasha told me it was bye 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 on, but Tasha could just easily I was like, yeah, I was just lying to her,
Which
right?
is
Like,
exactly what happened.
yeah, like I don't understand. You need if you're Cass, you need to have one-on-ones with people and tell her this is what Tasha's doing, and you need to pick the people correctly
Yeah.
so that it doesn't come back. But having a big public blowout is never the answer on Survivor. And it's a little surprising that Cass did that, but not really.
Not.
Not
Uh,
really. It is surprising that Sierra tried to hop on that.
Sierra was like, that looks hilarious.
Yeah.
Fuck Savage.
Yeah, fuck Savage. Yeah. She's just like, oh yeah, it's 2 o'clock. Time to screw Savage over. Alright. By the way, Savage was like throwing Jeremy under the bus and Joe under the bus, which is the worst lie you can possibly tell about Savage. Because if anyone knows Savage, you could read the wiki on Savage and know he loves to bro down. He's never gonna turn on Joe and Jeremy. Like, what? Those are his guys. That is a terrible lie. And the fact that she tried to do that in public with Savage standing right there is ludicrous. So dumb.
Yeah, it was bad.
It's really,
It
really
was,
bad.
I mean, whatever. Savage is gonna be pissed at her, but it was almost so bad that no one cared. Like Fishback was like, yeah, we can deal with her later.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the really funny scene. That was my favorite part of the whole episode. They're talking about at the well. They're talking about the vote between Cass and Sierra, and Savage is trying to push Sierra, and everyone else at the well is saying Cass. And Savage just has to sit there and listen to it and accept it because he has no pull in this group. And he just has to listen to Fishback say, no, I think Cass is the more dangerous one. And you can see twitching on Savage's face as he doesn't have control of the situation. I love that. So fun to watch. Oh, man. That was great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Spencer and Joe because they kind of broed down a little bit this episode.
It did. There was a lot of bonding. There was a lot of Spencer kind of being a dick. Like I was just like, what the hell, Spencer?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna speak Joe language. I'm pretending it's sports.
It
I
was
can-
kind of out of nowhere.
It was just showing that he really hasn't emotionally matured.
Yeah.
He's still kind of just like, Joe, look, I'm drawing X's in the sand.
Yeah.
Let's work together. I didn't get that. It just seemed kind of sad.
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna land himself in the same kind of trouble eventually.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, when it comes time for Spencer to be on the hot seat, he won't have the relationships to hold on, I don't think.
But yeah, they kind of ended up being swing votes. I'm not really sure how. Like why?
I do have a breakdown here. The alliances at at a glance during the episode seemed to be Savage, Jeremy, Tasha, Fishback, Wiggles, and Kimmy. And then on the other side, you had Wentworth, Cass, Sierra, Abby, and Keith. And they had Joe and Spencer, and then everyone's just like, we need Joe and Spencer. Interestingly, Keith left, Joe and Spencer left, and Wentworth voted for Cass. So I think things fell
How
apart
did
quickly.
Keith end up over there though?
I think, and I was very confused as well because there's a point in the episode where Keith walks up and Jeremy's like, it's Cass. And then he's just like, okie dokie. I was like, what the hell? We're just telling Keith? Isn't he on the other side? That doesn't make sense. But I think the bond between Jeremy and Keith is just pretty strong.
Mm.
And I think they're broken down a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Jeremy's in a great spot, man. He's got everybody.
He does. Jeremy.
Yeah.
He's got everybody and he's got an idol.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
my
Yeah.
God.
He's gonna be tough to get out ever, I think. But yeah, so that was, I think Joe and Spence, because they had ties to both sides, I think that's why. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird. It was I was a little worried because the number's slightly bigger on the Wentworth Cass Sierra side, and then we hit the beach and everyone's just like, bye, and then they just voted Cass out. It's like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like that.
because I mean the winners, it's all gonna shake down as to how pure a Bion are you, right?
Yeah,
If you're
yeah,
in Bion 3 times in a row, you're like
exactly,
top of the pecking order.
exactly. You are a pure blood.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gonna turn into a race war.
exactly.
I mean that's
That's
essentially what it
great.
is. Like tribal lines
It
are
is, yeah.
racial identity.
But there is a lot of blurriness because there's have been a few swaps. The
Oh
problem
yeah,
is that there's just so many Bion left in the game, and we lost another to KO last night. No, that was Bion. I lied. That was a
Cass
Bion,
is Bion.
wasn't she? Am I
How
crazy?
how how strong a Bion was she?
Not a very strong Bion, I
A
don't think.
one-time Bion.
She was a one-time Bion, yeah. She was the
One-timers.
original. Yeah, it was a long
She's
time ago.
she's
Yeah,
original Bion.
I do believe so. Yeah. All right. Um,
You would think that would have more pull. I don't know.
I don't know. She's been gone a long time.
Yeah.
She has been gone a very long time. She has that Abby stink on her. Everyone that Abby gets close with just
Goat
it's
smell.
Abby. That's not actually true. That doesn't hold up because Boo wasn't close with her. Anyway, all right.
Wrote her name down twice.
He did write her name down twice. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah.
Oh,
It's, okay. We're free falling. Okay. I actually have a question about the immunity challenge. Because we saw, and I see if I have the names down here at the end.
mm-hmm.
All right. Yes. Near the end of the immunity challenge, where they had to balance a ball on a platform while standing on a platform.
Oh,
It's just
God damn it.
fucking
You're watching that.
yeah,
I don't
really
understand how you
exciting television. Okay. So the final 5 in the challenge was Savage, Spencer, Jeremy, Joe, and Tasha. My
I
question
was
is,
yes.
should any of these people have just kind of tossed the ball aside earlier in the challenge to appear a little bit weaker?
I mean maybe, but the only person who's thinking like that is the one who did it 3 seconds into the challenge.
Every time Fishback gets just so embarrassed by a challenge, I'm like, is he doing this on purpose? I still believe part of it is, but it's getting really hard to defend it. Like, that was quick.
It was.
And now I'm thinking, because last week we talked about how, hey, he's going to be like Cochran. When he starts to win stuff, everyone's going to be really happy for him. Now I'm thinking, he's just going to lose everything horribly, and everyone's going to be just like, all right, we don't have to worry about Fishback. He will not win immunity. It's fine. We'll do other things.
But nobody cares about, comp beasts anymore. It's all about the strategists. So
That is
maybe
true.
he should become a comp beast.
He should just become a comp beast. Just beat Joe.
Yeah.
Joe is amazing. Yeah, I
So your question was, should anyone have thrown it? And I mean, maybe, but I don't see any of these guys doing that. Spencer shouldn't,
no.
because he needs to.
Why? He was a swing vote.
I guess I don't know.
And I know
He's
it's kind of a
the guy
different
that
show.
always wants the idler on his neck.
Well, yeah, it's throwing competitions is certainly more of a Big Brother thing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of big guys here, and I don't know if you like if I'm Jeremy and it's between me and Sav, like say Joe's gone, now it's a battle to see who's the next alpha dog on the island. It's gonna win everything. If I'm Jeremy, I want to be like, Savage has beaten me in every competition, so he's more dangerous. Rather than it's just like, well, I almost win everything. uh, I think it's risky being that late in the challenge. I was surprised that Keith went out so early because the challenge involved balls, and challenges that involve balls he's typically very good at.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you know that, but
I did not know that.
most of his immunity wins and challenge wins in general have involved balls.
The way you're saying balls, it's really, I don't know. I'm just tired, I guess. Balls. Okay.
Free falling. Okay.
Oh god. Okay. So another thing that I wanted to bring up is that I was kind of anticipating this because it was such a large group that they would do the double immunity necklace thing,
Right.
like one for men, one for women. And I don't know how the numbers are. Is it equal men and women? Was it equal men? No,
It
it can't
was
be.
it was
13. It's
it was
close.
7 women and 6 men.
Okay, so it was close.
It
They
was
could
close.
have.
They
I
could
don't
have.
know.
Yeah. They could have given Tasha the necklace.
Yeah.
Um it
Mm.
would have that would have been weird because then Tasha was the target as well. So if she actually has that necklace, who does the
It would have
target go
shaken
to?
things up interestingly.
Yeah.
That's a
Does
shame.
Savage become the target? I mean, I only say that because, hey, maybe if Savage is the target, you can get some more people against him,
Mm.
like Spencer or something. Maybe Fishback. Although Fishback isn't gonna flip because he's not an idiot. Uh, Spencer's not an idiot either. No one's gonna flip. It wouldn't have worked. Um, but I mean, you have a better shot if it's Savage over Tasha. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a really really chaotic episode that ended up being kind of predictable in the end. Um, after a lot of pretty bad play, but uh, the interesting thing for me now is I don't have any idea who the next to go is. Sierra is the obvious choice, but I don't know if that's the best choice,
Hmm.
and that's
Best
very
choice for
exciting.
who though?
That's I mean the best choice for
The majority? The
yeah,
9?
I guess. That's the thing. Like, are they a 9, or is it just a tight group and then a couple other people that just hey, it's not me, I'm good.
Hmm.
There's a lot
And
of ways this
that's
can go.
yeah. It is very sort of
It's up in the
free
air.
form.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's really really exciting. I actually have a question, and this is just totally open to your own interpretation. Who do you think benefited the most from Cass going home?
Benefited the most. Hmm.
Doesn't have to be one
I don't know.
specific
I mean,
person.
I
You could
didn't
pick a
really thought
couple.
about it like that. I mean, Spencer, I guess, because it seemed like she was getting ready to fucking. She was like, "I got him now, and I'm
I
gonna get
have you
him."
now. Right.
Exactly. It was kind of weird. It was just like, now I have his trust and I can shatter his dreams. It's gonna be great. He will not have that opportunity.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
Who do you
Well,
think benefited the most?
um, probably the tightest of the Bions, like Jeremy and Fishback probably benefited the most.
Mm,
Because anytime it's somebody that's not really tight with them that goes home, that's less people that Savage and Joe, those guys can go around to gather numbers to rally against them.
mm,
That's my thought.
yeah.
But I mean, ultimately, I think Jeremy benefits the most out of anybody anytime it's someone that's not in his lines going. Because that guy is set up so well.
Oh yeah.
He has literally everyone on his side except like Sierra and Abby.
But he's not really exerting a ton of control over them.
No,
So it could fall apart at any moment, technically.
it could,
But
but
it's such a big group right now, and it's just kind of going so smoothly for everyone that I don't see that happening.
yeah, I don't think. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I don't think there are numbers out there to get out Jeremy right now. I think Keith would tell him. I think Savage would tell him. I think
Oh
Fishback
yeah.
would tell him. Kimmy would tell him. I don't know who else you're going to that you could, you know, actually pull
No,
something like that off.
I don't necessarily mean him just suddenly getting blindsided. I more mean his alliance coming to the point where they are no longer the dominant power.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm kind of hopeful that it continues.
Yep.
It'll
Throw
be
down.
interesting. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Joe uh, goes home if he doesn't win
Ever.
immunity. Yeah, it's
I mean,
just
the
ever.
run has begun, man.
Yeah, he's
Immortals have.
one he's 1 for 1. If he does lose one, does everyone jump at the chance? Because he's
I feel
set
like
up
you have to.
okay. Well, he's got some numbers. He's got some people. I don't
Okay, so
know.
if
Go for it.
who's going to protect him? If people try to, Jeremy's obviously going to try and protect him
Yeah,
to a point. Or at what point does he say, "Okay, time to cast off my shield"?
I think if Fishback is like it's me or him, he probably gets rid of Joe because he can beat Fishback physically.
Yeah.
I think something like that. Uh,
Hmm.
I don't know. It'll be really early to get rid of your shield at 12.
Well, yeah, 12.
And he still has
But I mean,
Savage, but I
mm,
don't know.
uh,
I don't know.
hate Savage.
I don't
He
know.
loves Joe.
I don't know. I don't know. Savage loves all the guys except for Fishback and Spencer. He doesn't like the nerds. Hates the
Nerds.
nerds. Yeah, but he's kind of run. He's almost out of dudes that are not nerds. I mean, there's only like Jeremy and Joe and Keith. So
Keith count?
Keith, I don't think Keith counts as a strong guy or a nerd. Keith is just
He's
Keith.
just a ball fondler.
He's
It's for all my Rick and Morty fans out there.
man. All right. Well, I think that's a great stopping point. We reached a
Yeah.
natural conclusion. We got Ball Fondler into the podcast, so that's good. There's a life goal. I think we're good. If you don't have anything else to add, I think we're all set.
Yeah, I think I'm all good.
That's great news. All right. That's going to do it for us this week. We will be back next week to recap episode 8. I hope we have those numbers right, or else we've been wrong the whole time. And you can check out my write up. That I already plugged the blog, but the write up will be up sometime tomorrow as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hit buttons and shit. We will see you next week for episode 8.